Do you want to give us maybe a little tour around the classic corner first?
We keep a lot of the old classics, like a few black and whites. You gotta have Space Invaders and Pac-Man, Sequel.
Any that particularly proud to still have running that were more of a challenge or are a little bit harder to find nowadays?
Seawolf.
Seawolf.
Seawolf is like one of our last of the old black and whites. It's just hard to keep it up running. I've had people call me because they have Seawolves and want to know how to fix them. Because I'm like, you can't get parts for that one anymore. Hardly even on eBay can you find anything like that.
How do are these people online or people
No,
locals?
they're actually just locals. They come by, they see we have a huge arcade, and a lot of times they'll ask somebody, who fixes your games? Because like most people, they lease out or have somebody outside routes that come around and fix. They don't usually expect on-site staff to, all they do is fix. And we have a staff of 5 people, and we keep them up and running, cleaning and servicing. Like right now is our downtime, so we're doing a lot of cleaning with the internet, eBay. Internet's been the biggest help on being a classic collector. If you are, I mean, you can find almost anything you need to make the machine look brand new again.
Okay. What type do you do? A lot of cosmetic fixes and stuff too?
Not games so much, because like I said, it's not cost effective. We just keep them up and running, making sure the controls work and the monitors look nice and everything. But other than that, unless we have it in stock, because we have a lot of, we used to keep like everything left, from side graphics to control panel overlays, to keep everything up and running and looking nice.
Did you usually have those from the manufacturers, or is that more of the eBay thing?
Back in the day when I've been here since '81. We had to get it from the manufacturer. There was no eBay.
Okay. Now, most of the machines, especially the classic ones, are they all ones that you've had like all this time, or do you get them from maybe other businesses that were looking to clear out what they had? Or
all of them are pretty much we bought originally. There are a few that we got when Chuck E. Cheese went out of business.
Okay.
And we bought out. One day the owner of the company came back with 60 games from Chuck E. Cheese, and we had to go through and make them all run again.
Genres or specific games are like the biggest money makers or whatever?
Right now the biggest money maker is Redemption.
Oh, really?
Meaning all the games you get a ticket. People nowadays want something for their money, so they want a prize, claw machines, merchandise games that have prizes in them, and the ones you get tickets, and then driving games that you get to compete with your friends, because it's kind of hard to, not as much now with the internet, but you got the big games, get your friends down a race. It's pretty good, and the shooters are pretty hot too.
The light gun shooters?
Yes, like our newest one is Terminator Salvation, and it's one of our most popular shooting games.
Okay. But what's like the busiest time of year for, especially the arcade?
Well, December will probably be, for off-season, our busiest, because we have a promotion called Token Madness, where you get $40 worth of tokens for $20.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's crazy down here. People buy their tokens for the kids for the holidays, and it's a lot of people buy their tokens they just buy for the rest of the year, that they stock up.
Yeah.
But regularly it's summer, July and August are really busy for us.
Okay. Now, I noticed when I was here, whatever year that was, like 2003, I noticed I think it was summer it came and everything, and there was like a lot of lines and everything, especially for I think some of the fighting games. Is that still pretty common?
Yeah, not as much.
Not as much?
I mean,
Okay.
we do have the newest fighting game, which is Street Fighter 4, but that was a tough one to get because it never really was introduced to the United States. They only
At least not as
produced
the
it-
arcade one, yeah.
They only produced it in Japan, and people imported it here, and I was able to get a couple. That wasn't fun.
Is the importing process pretty tricky, or?
I haven't had to deal with it as much other than to get parts, but for these games, no. The Street Fighters I got through a distributor who just happened to know somebody who was selling too.
Personal favorite game in the arcade?
To play?
Or fix?
Like, all right, this one's broken.
Time Pilot.
Okay.
The old Time Pilot. We have it on a multi-game. That seems to be the new things that you could get. Here, I'll show you.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to get to. This one has, now we could do 20 games, old games on one machine, as opposed to having 20 of the old machines taking up space.
Okay.
It's funny how back in the day, like this holds 20 games on a board about this big, but yet back in the day this game has 5 boards like this big in a row just to make one, and it's just how everything's shrunk.
Yeah.
You can get Pac-Man now on a board probably that big, and I just think it's fun.
Yeah. Is there any machines that you guys had in the past that have been retired or sold or whatever that you kind of wish were back here? Like.
Star Trek video game that we had that I was telling you about was just a pain in the butt to fix. I don't know if I can say that word.
What went bad on it?
On your mark.
The monitor was always, you could not get parts for it. The PC boards were in a bad location where they were constantly corroded with dust, plus the fact that we're next to the ocean, you get a lot of salt air, and that really wreaks havoc on copper, which what all PC boards have is copper. I search on eBay for the Boardwalk because I'm always looking for things related to the Boardwalk, and I've come across somebody selling games from the Boardwalk, and I've been here for 30 years, and I'm like, I had to email a guy. I go, are you sure that's from the arcade, because I don't remember that game ever. And I mean, I have pictures from back in the day from my previous boss, he'd been here for 40 years.
What was it back like when you started?
Very few video games. All the games were electrical mechanical, meaning they had no TVs whatsoever. Everything was either projected on from plastic lenses and looked like slide screens, or they had like the pinballs. We had a lot more pinballs than we do now, and all those had relays. Everything was relays back then. There was nothing with a PC board in it.
Do you happen to know which of the older machines are the most popular?
Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, Cubert, Tetris, Frogger. I'm sorry, I need to look. That's about
I know we put a few bucks into Donkey Kong last night.
Donkey Kong. Yeah. I mean, I know it's not, when you consider classic Capcom versus SNK 2. I mean, it's a fairly old fighting game for an arcade. It still does rather well for us. And Capcom versus Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it also does really well.
Are most of the things you have to fix because of user errors, like people using them, or are they because just
Most problems have to do with anything moving parts, joysticks, controls, steering wheels. Like this machine right behind you, the Typhoon. It has a motion base seat that moves. It has its wear. I've had to repair that. And most of the wear is from our guests because they see a control. Guns, I mean, they're on a cable. People like to yank on those. But yeah, a lot of it's from people wear and tear. Pinball, mainly pinballs have a lot more wear because there's a lot more moving parts.
Is there any big challenges in maintaining the arcade and everything besides just general repairs? Something that most of us might not think about.
There aren't any machines that are alike, so it's not like you can just swap things with other machines, and having to learn how to fix something new every time. Like I said, the Typhoon is a new machine for us. We've only had it 2 years, and when one of the actuators that made it move broke, I had to learn how to repair that. And in the middle of summer, August, with a full crowd in here trying to work on this while guests wanting to sit on it at the same time, makes it quite difficult.
Did you mostly learn your job on the job, or did you have training?
I took 2 years of electronics. I have a degree in associates in electronics from a local community college. But I think I learned more on the job working with some great techs prior to me. And, that's how you learn. Unfortunately, I don't have enough tape for all the stories.
My camera still tells me I have 48 minutes left.
And I've been here so long I could tell stories.
Well, go ahead.
But I don't know. I mean,
craziest
at the
condition
top.
you found a machine in?
Huh?
Craziest condition you found a machine in?
Oh. We used to have a machine called the video jukebox in I want to say in the early MTV first started and music videos were popular, and we had one of the first video jukebox machines, and we could not find a place to keep it in here that would not draw a crowd. It had so many people playing it so much that not everything could be played by the end of the day. Plus, wherever you put it, the machines around it would get damaged. We actually had the machine tipped over because people got so rowdy around the machine. We ended up having to get rid of the jukebox, even though it did so well for us. After the 1989 earthquake, it was interesting to come in here and find the machines all tipped over. Some you would think fallen over didn't fall, and then we also had a water leak that leaked over a machine which we called the bean crane, which was an antique game that the little crane picks up beans and you try and fill up a scale. Well, we took us so long to get back to in here after the earthquake, the beans had started growing. So when we looked inside, it just had this like green grass growing inside the machine. We still have that machine too, still working. Without the grass.
What's the shooting gallery like? Any interesting stories about the shooting gallery? Is it hard to keep running? Like all parts?
When we first got it, it was used.
Oh.
All I remember was when we unloaded it from the truck that we got it from. I think we got it from a place in Texas. It looked like somebody had thrown it into the back of a truck. And all I said was, how the heck are we going to get this up and running?
How did you?
We found a way, but it took us a while, and over the years it's been refurbished. That was probably about 7 years ago. The company that makes it took the entire thing out refurbished all the gags and everything, and took the gags back in, put them back in, and it looks a lot better now. But that shooting gallery, we've had a shooting gallery for probably about 40 years now.
The same
Our
one
first
or
one,
different?
no,
Okay.
the original one was from a company that was created by some designers that used to work for Disney. So the gags were really neat, nice and fun to shoot at, but the problem is the technology was a hard thing to upkeep the way you shot the targets. We could not get the parts to keep them up and running. Plus the sound was all using 8-track tape players, which that was another thing all the old games used to use for sound was 8-track tape players inside. I learned also to, some things I'll think is stupid. A game that I'm like going, nobody's ever going to play, and one of those games was DDR.
Oh wow.
When we first got that, I thought, nobody's going to do that. And I've just proved me wrong. It's like, okay, well. So now that's actually showed me that, I'm willing to try things that I even think is stupid when we go to shows to check out the new games. I go, okay, it looks stupid. Even the ugliest games, I remember going to a show and walked by San Francisco Rush several times thinking it was this neon green, ugliest looking cabinet, and I was not even going to go near it, but we were just about ready to walk out. The salesperson said, oh, give this a try. We walked away 45 minutes later after playing it for free for 45 minutes and said, we got to get this.
You go to trade shows every year?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Well, I tried to.
Yeah.
If
How many new machines do you usually pick up each year?
Varies based on our budget and the size of the machines. Because we've had to buy bigger machines, we don't get as many games. I mean, Slam a Winner here, expensive machines, but it looks impressive in the arcade.
Which one's that?
That
Oh, okay.
gigantic thing.
Gotcha.
And you were asking what one of my favorite games, and I tell you it's Rush 2049.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Yeah.
It's probably I think one of the best driving games still,
Yeah.
because I don't think they've ever made anything remotely close to it.
Yeah.
Even though they say they do. I don't think they do.
Are the trade shows usually pretty interesting? I mean, what are the shows getting a lot smaller?
They are getting a lot smaller. They used to be huge. Always pretty much in Vegas, and it seems like it used to be where it would take you 2 days to walk around. Now you could do it almost in half a day, unfortunately. But things are, heading towards the redemption, and so they're getting a little more creative. Places that never always made video are now heading over towards the redemption. Sega, Stern Pinball has tried to make a redemption game. Namco, I believe. But yeah, that's where everything's heading.
Okay.